Hey yo, this is another video, so let's go get right into it. No filler. So I have a video in the past about the spiritual rapture, where they say the coronavirus or COVID-19, whatever they want to call it. But I knew this is supposed to happen. So, and this is the thing is, I read this book a while back before, like two years before it happened, and I didn't fully get the grasp of it. I understood it when I was reading it, but like as they say, you read something, you live, and then when you live and you learn more, and you come back to that same book you read before, the things that you lived or been through, you can see like, wow, this makes more sense. And the things that I've been through, I can honestly say I don't know if anybody else is in my not say my vicinity, but I know nobody's really been through this, because it takes strenuous dedication and strenuous sacrifice. Like Prince say, we sacrifice. Yeah, I understand. So it takes a lot of strenuous sacrifice, and while studying, while living in this world. So what I'm going to do is stop talking. So I just want to give you a brief background or synopsis of what I'm about to get into. So let's get right into it. Prepare your eyes. Okay. There it goes. I'm in this book, After Death, The Disembodiment of Man, by Scholar Select, by Paschal Beverly Randolph. He's the father of Western medicine, the father of the occult realm from the West, and a lot of people don't give him his credit because it was a lot of information that came out after he passed. But this is information that came out through the world because the world wasn't ready to receive it from this brother. He was a brother, actually, an actual brother, Paschal Beverly Randolph. So he's like, so the ancestors was like, okay, it's not time yet. So when he passed on or left his physical frame or his physical body, it was an explosion of information that came out. And these same places that he visited when he was a young male, growing up and throughout life, or being on a boat, Paschal Beverly Randolph, he accumulated these principles or this literature around the world when he was traveling. So a lot of this stuff I see come out later from other people, he pretty much had. And other people, the ancestors gave me the intuition to know that they ended up taking all of his notes and everything and passed it along through all these other people that were out there. So in order for us to get it down, that had to happen. So if it had to happen, I end up with this book. Okay, let's keep it going. So I'm gonna turn to the page. Let me actually show you I'm in the same book, so it ain't no difficulty or anything like, oh, he's switching up books or anything. Like, he just telling us, see, After Death. So we're in the same book. So I don't ever do, or Disembodied Man. So I'm just showing you I'm in the same book that I just showed you. I'm about to read into. So let's get right into it. I don't want to talk your ear off. I'd rather talk or read to you, and you'll be able to read it for yourself, what I'm reading, and make sense of it. It's gonna be a bit long, but I'm gonna go right through it. And when certain things get kind of shaky to where you don't really conceive or understand what it's saying, I could summarize or give a meaning for it. All right, let me start over here. Perfect, right here. Okay, Aristotle and Bacon are united in these days, and we get at truth by the high priori, as like high. Well, you know what that means, of course. High priori, as well as other roads, was given to us pretty much, refusing to be conducted toward truth by the deductive or inductive paths alone. We very frequently leave Earth altogether. Frequently? How can you frequently leave Earth? And he's about to show you. And while our bodies are snugly blanketed. Now, Now, these things, certain people say in the occult realm, have meanings. So when he said snugly blanketed while you're asleep, so when you sleep, you go to the real world, the dream world, the ethers, or the aethers, the 9 ethers, 6 ethers. So highly melanated people, so-called black people, so-called African American people, we have a high volumes of melatonin in us. So when we go to sleep, that's when we really get the information. We're supposed to get the information here on Earth, or this hell, this third dimensional plane, and what we learn, we're supposed to take it back to the dream world, or the real world, I call it. Our souls are comfortably taking notes among the distant constellations. In these days, not one of the multitude of reasons formerly assigned to triumphantly sustaining the dogma of human immortality will do. Long ago, it required proofs of a different mold than Plato's reasonings, or the olla podridas offered from the pulpits, to convince people of mind of the fact of immortality. And it is only just now that these proofs have come along. So he's saying that they're coming along. At that time, it was like 18, when he wrote this book, around 1870 or late 60s, late 1870s, 1860s. He was writing this book. And it is only just now that these proofs have come along. It is proposed in this work to present a few of these better reasons. If 20 men see an object that they all describe alike, you may take it for granted that such an object really exists. I'll read that again. If 20 men see an object which they all describe alike, you may take it for granted that such an object really exists. Well, not 20, but 500,000 individuals within these 20 past years. Now, 500,000. Now, let me think. Now, I don't really watch the news at all. I don't watch no TV really, but the news comes to me. And I heard recently 500,000 people had died from what? COVID or COVID-19 or whatever you want to call it. They died in the U.S. alone, right? Okay. So what he says, but 500,000 individuals within these 20 past years have unanimously borne testimony to the fact of the existence of a spiritual world. So when they speak of the rapture, I call it a spiritual rapture. The people that's left behind, those are the people that's here to do the real, like some real work. And the ones that left already, that passed, a lot of highly melanated black people have left because their soul it vibrates at a higher frequency or a higher levels of soul, as in the sun. So if they're not feeding it spiritual things, or they're just feeding it low frequency things, like they said, the pulpit, the preacher is preaching prosperity instead of preaching about their soul and raising themselves up. So they actually had to leave a lot earlier because of. But that's actually working to highly melanated people's favor, because the ones that's left here, the ones that's left behind still here on this third dimensional plane, is here to do some work. So let's keep going. So that's number one. So remember, this is written in like around 1870 or 1860 something. Around this time, he was typing this up. As you can see, this is in type format. He had a typewriter. So let me get back to where I was at. 20 last years have unanimously borne testimony of the fact of the existence of a spiritual world, and we must accept, because it is impossible to gainsay or impugn their evidence. If man had made half as long and earnest efforts to harmonize contending interests and factions. Hold on, there's a lot of noise about to happen. And factions, and he has to fathom the abyss. So the abyss is the darkness. Hold on, let me go get something. I just realized something. So I'm gonna get back to the book I was just reading out of. But the abyss, when you read different mythologies, you come across wording that is exactly the same and has different same meaning. So the Necronomicon that was brought out by Avon, book publishing company. Avon came out with a book. It actually came out with 3 of them that I've come across and got into my grasp. Avon, they came out with their Necronomicon. So this, you go find it under Avon. You can get it online, or wherever you can order it through a book company. However you get your hands on it, So let me show you page. I found it just now and I remembered it. I'm usually a lot of times I'm in this book. So I'm not trying to take your time. Let's get right to it. Oh, here it is. The underworld is in ancient Sumer or Sumeria was known by many names, among them Absu or Abyss, sometimes as Nar Mataru, the great underworld ocean, and also as Kutha or Kutu or Cthulhu, as it is called in the Enuma Elish, the creation epic of the Sumerians. The phonetic similarity between Kutha and Kutu and Chthonic, that means the inner world, the underworld, as well as Cthulhu, is striking. Judging by a Sumerian grammar at hand, the word Cthulhu or Cthulhu, Lovecraft's Cthulhu Sumerianized, would mean the man of Kutha, the man of the underworld. The underworld, man of the underworld, Satan or Shaitan, as he is known to the Yazidis, and their symbol is the peacock. But ain't NBC's symbol the peacock? Oh, okay. Just so we're on the same page. Whom Crowley considered to be the remnants of the Sumerian tradition. Okay, so when you look up the word Yazidis, there's a book, The Worship of the Devil by the Yazidis, but it's not like we worship the Yazidis. They actually just worship in themselves, just an energy. That's all. Where was I? Okay. Get right to it. I ain't trying to take up no time. Lovecraft's between Lovecraft's creations and the Sumerian gods, as well as between Lovecraft's mythos and Crowley's magic, can go on nearly indefinitely and in depth, for which there is no space here at the present. So, the word abyss means the underworld, or the abyss as in the stars and space, or Nordic mythology as in Germany and Switzerland, they call the abyss the waters, the abyss or the waters. So as above, so below. So let me get back to the same book I was just reading out of. All right, this is where we was at. I'm gonna reiterate or reread that sentence. If man had made half as long and earnest efforts to harmonize contending interests and factions as he has to fathom the abyss, the abyss we just talked about, the abyss is the great unknown, or things outside of what is so-called physical. Okay, so as in the waters, or in the great waters, or in the out in space. But everything out in space is what? The illusion. It's actually going on the inside of your body. So let me continue reading on, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. It's the same thing. The abyss. Master his ignorance of what lies beyond his natural or external range of vision. So let's read that part again. If man had made half as long and earnest efforts to harmonize contending interests and factions as he has to fathom the abyss, master his ignorance of what lies beyond his natural or external range of vision, the millennial epoch. The millennial epoch is like stages of certain times. So the millennial epoch, they say the millennials are like 2000, 2001. They say the millennium already happened like in the early 1990s. The Dogon tribe did the Siggy ceremony in like 1994 in March 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. So they had signified that. But remember, so after Michael Jordan won his last one with the Bulls in 1993, what happened? So if they did the ritual, so this is something the NBA was in on ritually too. So Michael Jordan went away for how many years? 2 years. But who won those two titles in between those 2 years? The Houston Rockets. You had Clyde Drexler from Houston. Then you had Akeem Olajuwon from Africa or Nigeria, and they played together in college, and they played together in the 1995 season. You know, that's what you call uniting the two. You had Africa and you had America uniting the two. They was all one at one point. All continents were all one. So they united the NBA played along. They knew they was the strongest team to get Michael Jordan out the way. Then they had to break up the Rockets. Just like if you watch the Space Jam movie, they ended up beating what? Who did they end up beating? The Toon Squad ended up beating who? Okay, they were from where? Outer space, right? The Abyss, right? What was it? The Abyss. We just talked about outer space and the waters. So who did they? The Toon Squad ended up beating the Monstars, the monsters from outer space. The Necronomicon are the dark arts, or the black names, or the death. Death as in to live and to die again. So that was the case. That was a whole ritual. If you watch Space Jam, it was a ritual against highly melanated people, because we are the original. We are the Martians. Marvin the Martian. He's dark. In the new movie, they're not gonna put Pepe Le Pew in. That's what it is, Pepe Le Pew, because Pepe is what? The dragon. Pepe, the dragon. So remember, he has sexual energy. Always chasing that cat. They got the stripe down her tail, right? Their back. So if he's chasing her, that means he's using second. The second means vital power, vital energy. Sexual energy is sexual energy is called Shakti. Shakti you find in Hindu mythology. Shakti. So let's get back to what I was just reading. The millennial epoch. So as you can see, all these people are leaving. And what? It was starting around like what? 2020. 2020. Remember, Aaliyah, her movie Queen of the Damned, released February the 2nd. That's 2. February is 2. The 2nd, 2002. So now it's 2020 when all this is going on. 2020. So remember, this is a long time coming. A lot of members, all these people that left, over 500,000 people already left already. So it's already in the works. Everything is going on how it's supposed to. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid or frightened. Remember, you're only supposed to be doing your work. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, everything will be fine. Just keep it going. Keep your work going. Get busy. Get busy. All right. The millennial epoch had long since come. His fault has been that his efforts have either been partial, wrongly, directed, or he has relied on men who claimed a great deal. Make sure you can read. Everything I'm reading is not blurry. He has relied on men who claimed a great deal too much knowledge regarding things supernal or celestial. That means outer space. So as above, so below. Everything that is outside yourself is inside. So everybody's worried about everything that's physical. Remember, I was telling you about the preachers that talk about prosperity and keeping highly melanated people, so-called black people, on a lower level, worry about money. Bobby Hemmett used to say, you chase money, it's going to always run from you. But if you chase spirituality, money will come to you. So it ain't all about money So that's why when you make it all about money, you're always going to be chasing the wrong things. You're always going to be chasing. So, at length, the civilized world has grown tired and tired of the weary, tired of the bullshit, the BS, the falsified claims by these preachers and these people in the synagogues and these mosques lying to these people. Weary A's and the barren B's, stale stuff and moldy, no real life to it. Nothing that can stick to your ribs. You know what I'm saying? So keep it going. Upon which it has fed. And lo and behold, the supply comes to meet the demand. Seers are born. Seers are people that's like they see with a veil. Seers are like people that can hold on, there's a lot of noise going on. Seers are psychic. All right, seers are born, lucids are discovered. So you are born with that psychic ability, but lucids are people that are coming into their ability or their superpower. Hold on, there's a lot of noise going on back behind me. Lucids are discovered. It means the ones that are actually like considered crazy. They can actually see in multiple dimensions, right? So lucids are discovered. They're discovering their actual power. Hold on, some more noise going on. Hey, I'm gonna get through it though. The veil torn away. That means the veil is like the illusion or the matrix. In what do they call it? In Tibet, they call it Maya. Maya means the illusion. Okay. And okay, let me read this part again. Seers are born, lucids discovered, the veil torn away, and light from what has been called the region of darkness. Then we just say the abyss is the darkness, or in space. Okay, same things. So from what has been called the region of darkness. So you can't get light. You can only get light from darkness. Darkness doesn't come from light. Just like a baby inside the womb for 9 months, then it comes out into the light after it's been born. It's been taken care of inside the womb. You can feed the woman. The highly melanated woman can feed the baby, take care of the baby. The baby is fine. And so once it comes out into the light, now we got to what? Take care of itself. Begins to flow in. So they saying the light from the darkness begins to flow in. For it is most unquestionably true that sometimes the aerial synods bend and the mighty choirs descend. The mighty choirs as in, let me find it. Look, the mighty choirs, 500,000 individuals that left already. The death toll behind the so-called virus. The mighty choirs descend. Remember, this is 1860s, 1870 something. He was a psychic too, also. So Paschal Beverly Randolph, what I'm talking about. And the brains of men thenceforth teem with unaccustomed thoughts. Unaccustomed thoughts, the things that you are told regularly by like your teachers in school, your church, your synagogue, your mosque, or your people at work, or your parents tell you, your friends tell you, your family, they just tell you what they know, and if they can't answer your question, that's just the way it is when you're young, and you just feel like, damn, maybe that is the way it is. No, it ain't. They just don't know. Like, if I don't know something, I don't know. Keep it going. I'm gonna go ahead and learn and try to figure it out, and we can talk about it and build on it more. Characters abound to whom are ascribed strange powers. Strange powers, because what? Those people that are dying, and plus your ancestors are inside you. So those genes, or that part of the DNA is actually waking up inside of you. Strange powers of spiritual nature, and the concurrent testimony of all such is that a spiritual country really exists, whence messengers not infrequently journey hitherward. All this great world knows, but beyond that point it has gone but a very little way. So that means you're mutating. If you're here, you're mutating. Do not take the vaccine. I'm telling you, they're trying to stop your mutating power. Your mutating power will be stopped by the vaccine. Don't be afraid. Don't listen to what they're telling you, because all you're going to do is are mutating, just like the X-Men. The X-Men, they're mutants. They're mutating. So you're going to be mutating. So this is what I wanted to tell you. I had made a note of this, and I had reread over this, something I had read like 3 years ago. Like I said, you live, and when you start to live, they say evil is to live, right? But in order to live, you gotta be balanced. You can't be good all the time, because if you're too good, people gonna take advantage of you. If you're too evil, you can't have the good things that come in your life, because you're always trying to get over on somebody. But if you balance that out, you're able to get what you're supposed to get. So like they say, to live is to evil is to live, or to live is evil. But they say, but to think about it, you're in this, what they say, sin. But you take the K out of skin, now you was born into sin, but you're born into your skin. So the church it's a double entendre. Nothing is what it seems. Look at everything everything that you've been told. Look at it as a lie and go find out for yourself. Because remember, mostly all these churches, they get government grants, and then when they get them grants, what's gonna happen? You can't say this. You can't talk about this. You can't talk about this. You gotta talk about what we gotta tell you to talk about. So if that's the case, they're gonna keep you from your spiritual what? Your spiritual what? Your spiritual strange powers of spiritual nature. And the concurrent testimony of all such is that a spiritual country really exists. It's already here. It is that the veil has been placed over our eyes. The trick, the matrix. The trick is the eyes. Use your first eye, not your third eye. It's not the third eye, because you was your first eye before you came into this physical body. You had to fall into body. Born into sin, born into skin. That means you are your pineal gland. The face of God is the gland, or the pineal gland. That's in the Bible. But didn't God say, "Thou shalt have no other God before me"? He's talking in riddles, because he don't want you to worship. He don't want you to big yourself up or raise yourself up, because he loves your body, not your soul. But let's get back. This is pretty much it. All this, the great world knows, but beyond that point, it has gone but a very little way. So now it's time to take it there. It's 2021. We passed that 2020 mark as balanced, as in Ma'at. 2002 was Ma'at was looked at as Akasha. Remember, Aaliyah played Akasha. The film came out in February the 2nd, 2002. So when February the 2nd passed again, I did a ritual for that. In 2021, I did a ritual for it in 2020 also. But in 2000, every time, that's balance, or Ma'at. So that's what I do for you. Don't gotta do it, but I do it. I venerate Aaliyah. I listen to her music. I listen to her music too. So you know what I'm saying. That's how we venerate our ancestors. The ancestors are inside you. They want us to listen to them. When you listen to them voices in your head, that's our ancestors. You are your ancestors. They just live inside your body. But that's all I got for today. It's a lot to digest, but rewind and play it back, and it'll make sense. If you're not catching it how I'm speaking it, just rewind it and play it back. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, spiritualism in this Advent has been iconoclastic, and not a few sturdy blows has it struck at the cherished images of the past. Cherished as in what? Following or worshiping a God. You're not supposed to be worshiping, giving your energy outside yourself. The energy is supposed to go do what? Go to yourself. 10%, huh? To yourself. 29, Ma'at. Balance. Ashe. Peace. Nigga.